right, this is late afternoon. This is 120. This market's still struggling to get over this MA. Uh, I think I'm over anticipating this possibility here. Uh, I've been talking about how this ribbon has been pushing down, and now price for the six has come into it, and it's failing. Now, if this were to roll over really hard, this would provide another short opportunity um, to the downside. Out. God, out. Sorry about that. We're just gonna have to wait and see, guys. I apologize. A little distractions here, and you can see this is gonna maybe help. But we'll see what happens here. There's a blue to red. You can see the Dow once again stopped dead in its tracks at that pivot I showed you earlier, which has been holding up since 4 this morning, where that whole move went up to. They came right back down to it. They've been bouncing around, and like I said earlier, if they can get through that and this thing rolls over and provides a short, it's going to be a big one. And this one is possible. It can take us to this trend line, which I've been talking to for a while, around 80, which is settlement, and then maybe to pivot by the end of the day. So I'm in it. I'm a little aggressive with it because I've been waiting for this particular setup, and we'll see what happens.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted.
So that'll be the length of what I if it can get going. I might be way ahead of myself. You got to keep respecting where this market's at to bull trend acceleration. I'm not going to risk a whole bunch of money on this. Um, what's the high they just made? So if they take out that next high,
Order submitted.
um, I'll add on in a second. I'll talk to you as this video ends. Um, what I'm going to be doing, I'll probably do one more live presentation tomorrow as I continue to establish a more professional live presentation via Go Meet. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with it, but um, this way it'll be give me an opportunity to really interact with individuals, whether you were looking, if you've been watching my stuff and you want to ask questions and get involved on a more play-by-play scenario. That'd be great. That'd be something I'd consider. In fact, eventually the target would be my own room, but the man needs to meet. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure where I'll go with it. I provided this over the last 3 weeks. I wanted you guys to see the training strategies that I've been using for years, and some of which I've taught in this particular trading room with Quick Pop for about 4 or 5 years. So, this is a really nice platform. If there's anybody out there looking to uh, maybe get started as a trader, taking on a couple hours a day, maybe whatever you have available to yourself, there's always opportunity. And even if you can make a couple $100 a day, it's worth your while. It pays itself off. Um, Once again, I've worked extensively with this company. The owner's a really good guy, and if there's something you're really interested in, and let's talk about it at the end of this video. I'll leave my email, and you'll let me know what you're thinking and whether or not this is something that you want to do. It's also um, available to the trader who's been in the markets trading for a while that wants to maybe utilize these strategies to, you know, build his trading game up. So let's see what happens here. This is could be setting up as a really big pull down. So we're gonna just have to see. And once again, I showed you here. It's all about momentum, and you can see this time momentum really turned up. Are you right? But it also just solid profit taken off of that. I guess that's the opening range low, which I thought would have provided some stops. It didn't, and we're right back to it again. And this is kicking in. So what I'm gonna do, because this would probably be a trade I would call out if it locks, and it's tough. It's a tough trade because you're selling into what could become a double bottom. In fact, let's let it go. I'm going to let it go, but we'll just, in hindsight, we'll take a look at it. Again, you're watching MR Strategies. There's a first red bar. Always a tough spot. But I mean, like I told you guys a while ago, this tone has been pushing and pushing all afternoon since we got to that contract high. So I just don't know. The Dow will not, after all this failure, will the Dow lose it? That's the key here. Can the Dow break this 180 plateau? Can you please get out? So we patiently wait. Oh, I cannot believe My apologies, traders. Um, and then, well, here we go. Finally, and this is a now the confirmation. I was away from the computer for a second. This would have locked in. You probably would have been wanting to get one in at around 2.5, but I think it's just a tough spot. It's late in the day. It's been a bull trend, and you can easily get caught in a double bottom here. So I'm not gonna. I wouldn't call this. I wouldn't have called it on the room. It's just a tough spot. It is legit. This is a lower pivot high. This is a failure in tone. Once again, I talked about this earlier where I said what kind of pull ups. I thought we might be able to get up to R1 again. We didn't. We fell a little short. And you can see we bottomed out at 1.5 again. So this is why I didn't want you put you into the put anybody into a short. He's down there. I anticipated his turn when they started to fail, and I took it. And then once again, this is just my understanding of this platform and of some of the patterns that I have seen over the years, over and over again. And now it's whether or not we can take out this 181 in the Dow, and this thing could accelerate. We got some good, decent momentum. Let's for the records, 2.5 would have probably been your entry. I have another target at 0.5, so we'll see if that gets hit.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
So barring any bizarre rally, I think we're going to have to want to watch how this 80 handles. If we get there, that's your first trend line. If this is a significant move and it builds up, it's possible we can see the pivot. It's late. I don't know. Oh, it's actually 1:30. So, and you can see difficulties down there. All right. Still can't get through that 180. That's a number. 184, and it bounced hard again. And you can see, in fact, that last run up failed that MA as well. And you want to always be paying attention to that. We spent the whole day above it, far above it. We punched through, and we've been trying to get through it a couple of times and haven't been able to. So there we go. So they pinched it. Can they unleash? Can you unleash the hounds? Come on, baby. All right.
Order failed.
And look at this. Look at this, guys. Gotta love it. Okay.
Order canceled.
I got two on. I got nothing but profit in them. I am going to lock in
Order submitted.
at least that. I'll monitor it. They turn up. I'll pay attention. They finally broke the dam in the Dow. What dam am I talking about? The 180 right here. I talked to you about it. I said earlier that had to come out. Temporarily is. Now it's how much more? Where do you want to kick back? So Interesting session, guys. Bull trend acceleration, and you know what? The best trades were shorts. Although you could have made a little money up here, but like I spoke earlier, I'm just not. I mean, the trend traders maybe for the tight management trades, yes, and I think most likely in the room that you know they would have probably been calling these out because that's where the trend was taking them, and that would have paid out slightly. But I mean, like I said, there's just to me, there's a lot of risk uh, when you're buying at a contract high in a move that's just really just peaking out. Yeah, at least in my vision. So you take what they give you, and it generally it turns into the reversal shorts. You know, I think more importantly, I think is you can understand that you don't always have to trade it one way. That there's opportunities at both area at all on both directions. So as you're playing being smart and playing to the signals, and now you see we're sitting on this trend line. Let's see if this one caves in. And as I showed you, I mean, we didn't have the opportunity. The overnight session had the opportunity of getting the pivot reversals for to make money on the long side. I mean, if this would have played out like this morning, it would have been great. I mean, I'm not on usually this early. I don't often like to put in positions before the bell. I like to wait, unless it's of course is at a super huge location. And look at the continuation we're getting here, guys. And I think you're going to. I'll be real honest with you. You're going to be seeing this a lot in the coming weeks. These rallies are going to fail. We're going to. We're in thin air. So I think you're going to see a lot of profit taken. A lot of nervous longs are going to be just. It's hard to get somebody to get invested at these higher highs, and traders are pushing this, and you know what? They're going to get taken advantage of. So I just missed my third target. And it's only 1:30, so it's anything can happen here. We're like I said, the next trend line comes in just above the. Let's take a look at it from the bigger picture. Let's see what it looks like. You can see this trend line really comes in from a pretty significant low. Wow, I don't even know where it's coming. It's coming in from 42.32. I don't remember when we made that. The 24th earlier last week, I think. Or did we get down that low? And that's actually, believe it or not, it's interesting that that is the low because that 42 is exactly where the gap is. See, all right, so I'm going to show this to you. See this, we settled down here. This is I don't know what day this was, and this was the overnight session that was all the way up to here, and we have yet to come down and fill it under 52. It's going to be game on, back down to it. So, got to pay attention to these trend lines here. So, right now, this one's coming in at 77, right at the pivot. I'm not saying we're going to break 40 handles, but you know, you're going to you have to keep an eye on this and understand that this is extreme trading and price is getting extended to those extremes, and it becomes, can they be maintained? Can they sustain those highs? And you can just see the answer is no. And in a lot of my videos that you've seen over the course of 2 or 3 weeks have shown that on just so many occasions. So, I just think it's important to recognize that. I talk about it. We're in this bull market, and ideally we want to be long. We want to get opportunities to get long, but if they're not giving them to you, it changes your strategy and your game plan. It does for me. So I want to be long as well, but I want to make sure that I'm getting it from the value areas. And we're just waiting to see if I can get a fill here. Apparently
Order filled.
all right. Apparently I'm the last one. Okay. And you can just see how well this trade worked out, guys. I mean, this is just the beauty of this platform and the anticipation of what could happen if you paid attention to it. You got to understand, I've seen these patterns play out thousands of times. This is why I'm way more aggressive. In fact, this trade would pay out. It obviously paid out into small and long-term frames. Now, all the thing that's left here is is a daily pivot, and I got my last contract at 76F, and then I'm going to be done for the day. I'll pay attention to see what happens at the pivot and see whether or not this market wants to maybe build back up. We haven't gotten there yet, but we'll see what happens. And you can see how this all played out. And this is why I am showing you multiple markets, guys, and how helpful it is to your positions. I mean, look at this Dow. It makes you wonder what were they thinking? They rammed them all the way up here, and they never broke structure to the not once. So another good shorting trade. In fact, I don't think I took a long today, and that's okay because there weren't many opportunities to be long. There were only shorts. So hope you have enjoyed the last two live trading sessions, and I hope you can see the value of this type of trading style. And listen, it's not for everybody. Everybody has their own methods. Some are very people are successful many different ways. This is what I do, and I've done fairly successfully for a long time. So, if you like what you see, please reach out to me. Like I said, I'm gonna get a readout. I want to see if there's any demand for what I'm doing. If people want to get involved and be willing to maybe uh, join a live trading room that I'm looking to establish. And I think eventually I'm going to be looking to put this out to all the website. I'm developing a greater analysis of what I do of this platform. If you're looking to get involved in this for the first time, I strongly suggest you look at a platform that best fits you or what you like. I strongly recommend this one, probably more due to my total understanding of it and how well I relate to it, since I had a big part in the development of these charts. But like I said, do what works best for you, and if there's interest in this, reach out to me. I am going to. You can contact me at mlbino at aol.com, and please leave me your name and contact and what exactly a brief description of what you like, what you don't like, and whether or not you would like to be involved in this. I'm going to be pulling this off the websites. I mean, I'm going to eventually look to sell this more from a monthly basis. I do think that even as I haven't determined a price point, but I do know that I can get your money back fairly quickly, and it's going to be very profitable to you. But that's something you have to decide. Um, but I'm willing to work with you on many levels. So just reach out to me and let me know your opinion. Um, I'm gonna let this trade finish out, and then I'm gonna take a break. But once again, you're just seeing how wonderful price plays out to the locations and to the moving averages. Where was this? This was 87. So it was up in here. This was R1, somewhere up in there. And we didn't have anything till about down here, which is the pivot. So it looks like we're trying to get there. You can see the Dow is having you up. And you know what? Here's the big number, guys. I talked about this in the morning session, okay? Get a load of this. There's the MA. Right there is at 1. I can't even tell. It's so tight. It's right in there around 130, and we're kind of getting they're getting desperately close to us, or dangerously close to us. So once again, what you need to pay attention to, and I talked about this um, even when we were up here when I took this original short up around 89. Actually took it here, and I had to sit through it, and you can see how it failed right there, and then it rolled, and then it just developed, and it continued to develop, and look how price continued to stay away from it, and then it gave you that one last jolt off the opening range, stopped right at the opening range to the price 82, took some profits, tries to squeeze everybody out, and failed one last time inside the ribbon, and then rolled over once again. And a lot of that had to do with the Dow, and the Dow has been setting that tone, and we're just rolling over. But again, the market could be in a topping out process. I don't know. I'm not going to go on a limb and say something like that. I don't want to create any worldwide opinions. Um, you know, I think you're going to want to watch over, like I said, over the next few weeks of whether or not you're going to start seeing it developing in the market. The market's been really jacked. I don't know if we're going to start factoring. There's so much positive news out there. I just don't know how much longer or how much stronger this market, whether or not it has factored all of that in already. Market does have a tendency to factor it in before the news, and whether or not now the talk of raising rates in the near future could start creeping into the market as well. So I just think you have to be smart. And here's another pivot in the Dow. I'm just I made a really nice trade here, so I'm not going to try to squeeze too much out of it. I'll take it and I'll see what happens. This is the trend line down here. If I'm lucky enough to get it. Um, I forgot what I was talking about. So too many thoughts in my head right now. But let's let this thing finish out, and I'm gonna close it off for the day. Personally, myself, I will probably watch to see what happens. But that is a double bottom right at the pivot. I mean, right above this trend line. So anything is possible. This thing could possibly roll back up. It's fine. I'll probably lower my stop and be done with it.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
I'm going to monitor it, but I'm going to see what happens here. I think there's still time. So I'm going to shut this down for today, guys. Once again, MLBINO at AOL.com. Let me know what you think. I'd like to know, get your opinion. And I hope you've enjoyed it. I probably do this one more time tomorrow, and then I'm going to take a little time off to get this developed exactly to where I want this. But it's important that I get the demand to do what I really want to do. At the end of the day, it's fine. I'm always comfortable trading my own. So just trying to reach out to the public and show them that there's opportunity in this market with patience and a little confidence. So have a great day, guys. Glad you've been whoever been joining me. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.